Is this Kay Daver?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, good. How are you, my friend?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
I don't think we've had you on the show in probably at least 6 months, maybe longer. It might have been before the pandemic the last time we talked.
It was about a year ago.
Yeah. How have you been doing over the past year?
Yeah, I mean, just staying moving, man. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to keep moving and maintain mental health. How about yourself?
Good. Didn't get COVID. So, that's a good thing. Have you been, has it been hard not being able to play out? Because you've done a lot of, you've done your share of touring. You've been all over the country, I think, right? So, I mean, was it hard to just not be able to do that for a year?
Yeah, definitely spiked the depression. So we had 2 tours last year, fall through for obvious reasons. And
yeah,
it was just rough. It was rough financially, mentally, more mentally than anything because it's like, that's obviously, I don't have $1 million promotional budget, this or that. So it's like, we run Facebook ads periodically for certain releases we're doing or whatever. But overall, it's like our connection's always been the crowd. You know what I mean? So it's like when we do a show, you can't deny it. Like you may or may not be able to skim over it online with the absolute just bombardment of information. But like when I'm there and I'm rocking the stage, I'm one of the best to do it. So yeah, it definitely sucked, man. But
yeah,
I guess people had it worse than I did. So
absolutely,
I guess you just gotta count your blessings.
Absolutely, yeah. You said, I mean, did you really go into a depression, or were you just kind of speaking loosely?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I got as depressed as I have been. You know what I mean? It's like, well, see, I make music for me, for sure, but I also make music to perform, and I make music. And I just felt like my releases weren't getting the same traction they were getting if I did the tours that I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? So if I did these tours, it would have stayed moving. And a lot of it comes down to self. I mean, a lot of people made interesting business ventures. For instance, podcasting. I mean, everyone's got a podcast. A lot of people did podcasting and found ways that way. And yeah, I guess I crumbled for a bit. I mean, we still did show. I still found ways. So like Indiana's rules were a little looser than ours. So I did a couple shows in Indiana. Last fall, I did one show in New Hampshire. So, I mean, I was still able to get out, but yeah, definitely not the same volume.
Yeah. Now, what do you have lined up? Do you have a big, are you going to be doing a lot of touring this summer to kind of make up for it? Or what's your current trajectory of things? Because, as you mentioned earlier, you're used to always being in motion, always moving forward and releasing new music and then going on tour. So what's kind of your short-term to long-term plan?
Touring, I'm not sure. I've got a couple offers, none of which have maybe either just not solidified or just the offer wasn't pretty much what I was looking for. So
yeah,
no touring per se. I got a show tomorrow night at the Jewel Nightclub in Manchester, New Hampshire. So if you're around, come out. I got Locksmith, hip hop legend, coming out to do the show. A lot of cool groups on there. Got Killer Intellect, Kinetics hosting it, Livid, Aerotrusits, Rhyme Wave. Got a lot of cool cats rocking the show, man. So if you're in the Manchester area, unfortunately it's an early show, so it's 4 to 8. But the hours might be early, but the energy's still going to be there. So come out, have a couple drinks, say what up.
By the way, Christian Lacoste in the chat room is asking, do you need a DJ? I mean, it sounds like you got a full bill, but he's asking if you need a DJ for the show, because he'd be down for that. But
no, we got DJ Slipwax doing the cuts tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, he was nominated for Boston DJ of the Year before the pandemic. I don't know if he won it or what happened with that, but
I was going to say, I definitely, I know the name. Yeah, definitely heard of him. Yeah, very cool. Is it, is there a cover or what's the situation there?
Yeah. So it's $25. We weren't really quite sure what was going to happen with the show. I guess restrictions just barely got lifted, but when the show was originally scheduled, we were going to have like a third amount capacity. So
okay.
Yeah, so swing out. You can buy tickets at the door. If anyone's not familiar with Locksmith, You know, just a legend. Toured the world a dozen times.
Wow.
You can see his legendary freestyles on Sway 4-5 in the morning. Just really talented. Probably, in my opinion, the most talented wordsmith in the hip hop game right now. I know words they're kind of passe in the in rap right now, but yeah.
That's an interesting comment. Can you expand on that? What do you mean words are kind of passe in rap right now? What do you mean by that? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, I mean, words are just secondary. So, for instance, you know, there was a bulk of time in hip hop or rap in general, just, you know, words were your bread and butter. So it's like, yeah, obviously beats, you didn't want crappy beats, you know what I mean? But now it's like not only are beats the forefront, your beats have to meet a certain format that people are looking for. But beyond that, I just feel like everything's a step down. Like most lyrical cats, like you have some lyrical cats out there will just shred, but
yeah,
for the most part, most cats aren't really that lyrical. And then if you go the next step down, which I don't, you know, just like you would have death metal, heavy metal, classic rock, I don't really consider mumble rap my lane. I don't consider it even in my universe. But at the end of the day, it's like you have that side of hip hop to where it's like not only are these cats not spitting on the same pedigree, you go to that world, they don't say anything. I don't know if you've listened to mumble rap, but it's like it's literally just mumble. Right? It's just in the definition. So I'm not trying to be hateful, disgraceful. That's your thing, you know, do your thing. But.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it does seem like it doesn't require a lot of effort. Mumble rap. You're right. I mean, you know, everybody likes what they like, but yeah. Who's an example? I know. I remember when Eminem and MGK kind of had their Machine Gun Kelly kind of had, or I guess now he's just MGK, kind of had their beef, so to speak. MGK kind of just threw up the white flag and surrendered when Eminem called him a mumble rapper in an interview, and MGK was just like, well, I have no response to that. He wins. But I don't particularly think he's a mumble rapper. But I mean, who's big now? Just so people have an example, is there somebody who's really big now, a name that people would know that you would kind of put into that category?
Of mumble rap?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't listen to it.
Gotcha.
So I can't tell you. So.
I always thought 50 Cent was kind of a mumble rapper. Like the first time I heard.
50... All right, so if you think 50 Cent's a mumble rapper, you need to check in on what this mumble rap movement is. I kind of feel like the whole mumble rap thing's kind of like playing its course, but you know, to be dead honest with you, I don't really have a name because I don't listen to it. So So for instance, there was a cat who released a video like a month ago, 6 weeks, or whatever it was, and it got all that publicity of, oh my God, did you watch what he did in the video? It's just like, well, no, because what you're describing he does in this video, I don't want to see, so I just don't watch it.
Right. Right. Who are some of your influences? I know we've talked about this many times before, but we, you know, of course, we're always gaining new listeners, and there's some people in our Facebook live chat too who are kind of meeting you for the first time, so to speak. Like, who are some of the people who've influenced you?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it really depends. Like as far as like today, current day, you know, honestly, I'm not just saying it because I'm about to meet up with him here in a couple of hours. But Locksmith, you know what I'm saying? Like the dude's nasty. He's just very sharp. Like, bar none. As far as historically, man, you know, Vinny Paz, Jedi Mind Tricks, for sure.
Yeah, I like Jedi Mind Tricks a lot.
Russ. Yeah. Russ doesn't really inspire me on the rap end, but he inspires me on the independent end. And so, you know, you got that. And, you know, it really just depends on the day, man. At this point, I don't really grab a hold of cats like I used to. Like, I used to be, like, really motivated by certain people. Now it's just sort of like someone will say something in an interview, and I'll think, like, most of that interview is garbage. But they'll say, like, one thing, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just a different, I don't know. I guess I just move differently now. I don't really focus on much. I don't listen to a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of too. You're in. I mean, I'm curious what you, and sometimes, you know, for people who don't know, you and I have talked in various interview formats many times well over a decade now, maybe close to 15 years. I think I've known you. It's hard to believe, but I think I've known you for that long. So we've talked many times, and I'm always curious because you're always kind of changing and evolving and shifting gears. And I mean, what would you describe what you do? Because I don't know of anyone who sounds quite like you, even in these different iterations of your music that you've released over the years. I mean, you're kind of in your own lane, right? I mean, how do you describe what you do? You can't because obviously you can't just say, oh, I rap, I'm a rapper, because there's more to it than that, obviously.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Before I answer that question, kind of go off what you just said.
Yeah.
When I first started, it was like a badge of honor. It was like, yo, I'm a rapper, you know what I mean? And then you do your first headlining tour, and you're like, yo, I'm a rapper. And I don't know, somewhere in the last couple of years, I'm just like, when people ask me what I do, I'm just like, I don't even want to say it.
Really?
I just say I'm in the music business, because every time it's just, I'll be like, oh, I'm a rapper. They'll be like, oh, like Lil Peep? I'm like, well, I don't even know who that is. So
is part
what I do, I don't know, man. It's gonna sound dumb. I don't know. I just do what I do.
Yeah.
Some days I'm gonna shred on some rock beats. Some days I'm gonna do my version of singing on a rock beat. Some days I'm gonna do my version of singing on a rap beat. Some days I'm gonna out rap your favorite rapper. You know, I'm gonna rap circles around them. Some days I'm gonna be a more in the pocket type vibe. Some days I'm gonna be a little bit more belligerent. Some days I'm gonna be you know, slightly chauvinist, like playfully, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know we're in this cancel culture now, but it's like some days I'm going to be, you know, political or this, you know, it's like, I just do what I do because, you know, if I was to confine myself to just one topic, man, it's like, I wouldn't even enjoy it anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't even enjoy it now. So
Christian Lacoste in the chat room is asking, what do you think of Token? He's a local rapper. Are you familiar with Token?
Yeah. He's dope. Yeah.
Okay.
I've listened to a few songs of him. So, like, for instance, he can spit. You know, he's more of like a compound. I would call it like compounding, double time, or however you want to, like. You know, I don't know his whole discography. So if I'm snapshotting this with like the 7-8 songs I've heard,
yeah,
you know, maybe I'm wrong, but he can speed it up really fast and stuff like that, and he's very sharp and punctual. So yeah, he's nice, man. He's from Boston, I believe. So anyway, DJ Slipwax is DJing the show tomorrow night. He has cuts on Token's last album.
Oh, okay. No kidding. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Now, so speaking of albums, so your most recent full length was Back to Business, right? Do you have something new coming?
Yeah, so I got a bunch of singles out. I'm more or less doing singles at this point. Funny enough, I had an album ready to go, and my computer ended up crapping the bed.
Oh no!
3 days ago.
So
geez. Anyway, it's in the shop. They're doing data recovery on it now.
Oh no!
I got to buy a new computer, and hopefully I can restore everything.
Oh, that sucks. How many? How far into it were you done? And it was just all on that computer?
Yeah, we had 15 tracks ready to go.
Oh my God! And that's the only place you had them?
Yeah, so the computer backs itself up. I got to process. I'm pretty sure I can get the data out of it. But anyway, so I had an older computer. It's like a 2012-13 Mac. It was souped up for its time. It's a little dated now. And the graphics card ended up trying out. And because we live in this world right now, and it's so awesome, too. It's like, these computers are like, you know, $2,000, $2,500. And, like, they're really only secure for 3 years. Like, I've had mine for a little longer, you know?
Yeah.
But they're like, we can't even get this part. And I'm like, dude, the computer's only like 8 years old. He's like, that's ancient.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I know.
Okay.
That can be the frustrating thing about buying electronics, too, now. You know, with a computer or with other things or with a phone, it's like it'll be obsolete in a few years. Not obsolete, but yeah, it'll be Well, it will be in a sense obsolete. Well, I hope you can recover it. Most likely you will be able to. What kind of a direction were you going in? Is it different than, I should speak in the present tense because I'm sure you'll be able to, let's put the positive energy out there. You'll be able to recover it. Is it similar to Back to Business, or are you kind of going in a new direction?
Yeah, so oddly enough, like for instance, in 2018, Rotten Robbie released. Sorry, my phone was just dinging.
No worries.
In 2018, Rotten Robbie released, like, no political, and then I kind of went back and forth on a couple tracks since then. But you know me, when I first started, it was all political, and I kind of went back to it, man. Like, the new record was mostly political. I don't know if it's necessarily PG. I would spit you a new verse off of it, but I don't know if we could do it on radio or whatever. But yeah, man, it was just on that new direction. So regardless of whatever your views are, there are some people that are completely far out with where they think this world's going. There are some people that nuzzle the bosom of CNN and they think everything's all lovey-dovey. So, but I think I'm somewhere in the middle, and I'm somewhere in the middle of realism, which is, I think last year was a trial run to see if you're going to be obedient. You know what I mean? Like, you can say whatever you want about this or that. I'm not saying that the virus wasn't real. That's not what I'm saying. It definitely is. We can talk about the origin at a different time, this time, whatever. You can go down it all. But if you actually look at it all and how it's going and how some countries aren't giving that power back, and now they took all this power and now they're being very sparingly how they give it back. Well, you got to get your shot so you can have this or that. And I just really feel like this world will never be normal. You know, they call it the new normal. Well, like there's pastors being arrested, dragged in Canada, curfews in Canada. You know what I mean? Certain countries had just a brace of curfews and this, that, and the third. And I think all that anger and angst and feeling came out on this record.
Okay. Well, I'm very curious to hear it. Logan William Phoenix is in the chat room. He's asking, he just joined us. He's a big fan of local rap. So yeah, we're talking with K Daver, and that's K, the letter K, period, Daver. Of course, you're on all the major streaming platforms, and your website, kdaver.com, which is it's a very nice, very nice website. You know, I'm kind of a website nerd. Abigail Gem in the chat room is asking, how local is this rapper? Did he grow up in town? You grew up in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've been, like I said, you've toured.
Google me.
Oh yeah. But you've toured all over, right? Have you been all over the country at this point?
Yeah, I haven't performed in every state. I've probably performed in like 35, 40 of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's close. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, so the material that you've been working on, are you going to be performing any of that at the show at Jewel this weekend, or are you saving that until it's ready to come out?
Well, as far as the album, no. Those were on my computer, and I can't get those right now. I got newer-ish stuff that I'm performing tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Like some singles that dropped, like in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Last month I dropped 3 singles. I'm Only One Man, Raw, and Purple and Pink. Those are available on all platforms. So I'll be doing some of those. You know what I mean? I'm doing songs that I dropped last year as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we're just going to stay shredded, rip it up. We got some oldies as well and stuff like that. I'm shooting a video with Locksmith tomorrow at some point for this new song that we're doing.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, stay moving.
Very nice. Are you shooting that at Jewel at the show?
Yeah, probably not at the show. We're probably going to do a shot in the back room and then work our way after the show.
Yeah. Abigail wants to know what part of New Hampshire that you grew up in.
Yeah. So I grew up in Ashland when I was a kid, and then when I got old enough to move out, I lived in the Tilton Franklin area for most of that time.
Yeah. So Lakes region. Yeah. I think
now I live somewhere else that shall remain nameless.
Oh, yes. Well, it's good to be a little bit mysterious, you know, with everything.
Well, I was just getting to the point, man, where I'm not Eminem, you know what I'm saying, by any means, but it's sort of like I just like having a life to where no one knows who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I hear you.
I like it at a show when people come up and get pictures and autographs or whatever. That's really dope. Like, I'm not conceited.
Yeah.
But when I'm recognized in public, I'm still like cordial and nice, but I don't know, it's uneasy. You know, like I can't imagine, like everyone says they want to be this and that. Like I can't even imagine being like Will Smith, like not even being able to walk down the road and get, I don't know. Like it's just it's a weird feeling, you know?
Yeah, the pressure of that and having to be incognito if you want to do something in public and not be recognized, or even if you
I mean, I don't got to go incognito like that, but I mean,
just,
I don't know. I guess I'm just what's that stuff called? Introvert? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Just from knowing you, I'd say that's true about you. Yeah. I think I think you and I are kind of similar in that way, you know, introverts, but with certain extrovert characteristics that allow us to do what we do, whether it's, you know, like performing on stage like you do, or me doing a radio show. You know, there are those extroverted aspects, but yeah, because you're not, you know, like outside of you know, being a performer, you're not like a loud guy. You know, you're pretty low key, and you're not. Yeah, you'd probably have a hard time with being like super famous and just that sense of not being able to go anywhere without having people, you know, running up to you wanting to talk to you, or shoving a pen and a piece of paper in your face and saying, sign this. You know, it probably would be pretty stressful. Whereas someone like Will Smith is just, you can kind of tell whatever it is about his brain chemistry, he's kind of wired for that and can embrace it, and it's not gonna bother him. But which is probably
well, I mean, good for him, you know.
yeah, exactly.
It's not like crazy uncomfortable. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's what it is. Hard to explain. It's just, you know, when I'm out and about, I don't even really like talking to people. It's just so weird. Like I like talking to like interesting people, but at the same token, it's like, you know what I mean? I hate small talk as well. It's weird. It's a weird dichotomy.
Anyway,
yeah,
I get it.
You know, it's
dude, I get it. That is classic introvert. Totally. The hatred of small talk with strangers is agonizing. Dude, I totally get it, because I'm exactly the same way. That's classic introvert. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. Yeah. I mean, is that hard? What about though when you're at a show and you're kind of talking to people at the show, like right after you perform or before you perform? Is that different for you, or because if you're in that mode, even when you're not on stage, I assume you're just kind of in that mode, like you are Daver. So in those moments, it must be easier, I would think, right? Or maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's easier if the music's not going, because I'm deaf, so it's like when the music's loud and someone tries to talk to me, I'm just like, yell and this and that. But yeah, on average, it's like, but there's also right there, you already have something to talk about. So it's like, hey man, how you doing? Thank you for coming out. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Oh yo, the new song's dope. All right, but you work out that way. Like, I don't know. Again, it is what it is. But like when I'm recognized in public, it's like, yo, what's up, man? Da 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 da. Then it's like I'm just standing there, like, now what? Like I feel rude. It's like I don't know how to act. It's like I don't know what to do. Like, I'm like, oh, okay.
I get it. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I totally get that. Well, there's also too, like, do you ever feel in moments like that, like you kind of don't want to, there's almost an obligation. You don't want the person who's meeting you, who is a fan of yours, to be disappointed in some way. Like you want to, like you feel this weird sense of obligation to be who they expect you to be. You know what I mean? Like, do you ever feel that in those moments?
Yeah, and I think that's another thing too. It's kind of weird you say that. I don't put on a shtick per se.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily put on a character. Like I'm not a character, but when I'm at a show, you know, it's Daver, blah 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 blah. Like in my real life, like I don't wear jewelry. Like I have a bunch of. I got a watch, you know, and I got a chain that I seldomly wear.
Yeah.
I got a few nice pairs of shoes. I got a shirt, but overall, it's like, you know what I mean? Like when I'm at the show, you know what I mean? I got the hat, the sunglasses. Like it feels like the character. Then when they meet me in real life, I kind of, I know it's going to sound weird because I don't portray something I'm not per se, but then they'll see me with like a tatted up, not torn up, just like a kind of worn shirt. I've had a shirt, like a shirt I'm wearing now. I've probably had for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just hanging out, and it's just regular me. I'm just Rob. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then it's an odd feeling, kind of turning on that volume a little bit. I don't know. Again, it's just weird. And then there's no pivot point of discussion, because at a show it's like, yo, thanks for coming, or they want to sign, and I don't know. It's just an easily fluent conversation, and I know what I'm saying probably sounds like nothing to most people. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
But then out in public, it's like, and how's the weather? Oh, okay, awesome.
Right.
I don't know. It's uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like sometimes, like if I'm like at a grocery store and I'm small talking to the cashier, just trying to get this transaction. Like, let's say I got like 25 items.
Yeah.
How's your day? All right, yeah. It's like you try to like you're in purgatory. You don't know what to do.
Yes. You're in purgatory.
And everything offends everyone nowadays, and so that's just another topic in and of itself.
Yeah, you don't want to say the wrong thing. No, purgatory, though, that's the perfect word for it. I get it. I totally get what you're saying. That's interesting. Wow. Well,
actually, I want to hear a funny story. I might have said this on your radio show before, but so again, I don't dress fly or fresh, none of that. I got a few cool clothes. Like I got a few nice things that I'll wear out once in a while, but overall, I don't really care about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just It's never been me. Like I'd rather have stacks of money that I can do something with, invest in business, this, that, or whatever, and I don't really care about clothes. But anyway, I said it to say this. So, like, I have a couple pieces of my merchandise in my closet. So when I get merchandise, sometimes I'll try it on, be like, okay, how's it feel? How's it look on me? Blah, 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 just so I can, kind of see how to sell it or whatever. And so I have a couple Kate Aver shirts just in my closet that are, kind of rotate. And so I went to get my oil changed one day, and I was wearing the Kate Aver shirt. And this guy's like, yo, I know Kate Aver. And I'm like, oh yeah? He's like, yeah, man. He hangs with me and my friends all the time. Cool dude. He's like 6'5". Like, okay.
That's got to be weird.
So you want to talk about awkward? That actually, so like, there was a period of time I'd rock the Kate Aver hat, because that was just the hat that I put on or whatever. And once in a while, sure. I get that type of conversation actually more often than I do people recognizing me in public. And that's even more awkward, because I just have to stand there and be like, okay, this is awkward.
Yeah, that's got to be...
They'll have stories of Kate Aver. They'll have like this legend of Kate Aver that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
This one person told me a story one time how supposedly Kate Aver showed up to the party and he drank a whole keg to himself, and I'm just like, no, I've never done that. But I've never not once told these people it's me. Not one time.
Smart.
So they just go off.
That's smart, though. Let the legend let it just perpetuate. That's smart. That's funny, though. Yeah, it's got to be kind of a mind F when somebody does that and they're telling you, yeah, we hang with him all the time and he's 6'5" and you're the guy, and it's like, that's got to be surreal. like what am I in an alternate universe here where I'm not Kate Aver? What's going on? That's got to be wild.
Yeah, it's bizarre, and I've got it all. I've got everything from the good to the bad to the everything in between, and it's just I just kind of run with it. It's just funny to me at this point.
Yeah.
And it also shows me how desperate people are for conversation. So to kind of go back to like me being an introvert, I guess, I don't know, I've never labeled myself, but I guess if that's what you would call it, I hate small talk. So you can tell the difference between people that like small talk, because I don't even know if they believe these stories or not. I don't dig deep. They might just be making stuff up to have a conversation with somebody.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. That is true.
Bizarre.
But I would say the one thing I would challenge you on, you said you can't tell if people like, or what did you say you can tell if people like small talk or not? Because a lot of people who do like small talk are oblivious to the fact that some people don't like small talk. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people who like small talk, they just kind of assume that everyone they encounter also likes small talk, and they don't understand someone's body language enough to realize, oh, maybe this person doesn't want to talk about the weather.
You know what's the worst? When you start taking steps away and then they catch you again and keep talking, and then you slowly step and they keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
That is the most awkward I can feel. It's just like, I don't know how to get out of this without being rude.
Right. Dude, I relate. And it's like, yeah, you're trying to get away and you're trying to find, because in that moment, you're trying to pinpoint that balance, and it's such a delicate balance. You want to signal to them with your body language that you have to go, while not being so obvious about it that it seems like you're abruptly leaving and thus offending them. So it's like you're hoping that they'll take the hint, but they're not taking the hint, but you're trying to not do anything more than hint because you're afraid of hurting their feelings. But yeah, I understand all of that. Yes, absolutely. Melanie in the chat room says, bringing up obscure, creepy facts really helps bring uncomfortable conversations to an end real quick. Well, that's something you could do. Like if somebody's saying to you, like they're talking about, I hang with Kay Daver and he's this and he's that. And then you could just be like, well, yeah, I know Kay Daver too. And then just say something really creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
like,
not. Maybe not. Maybe it's not the best strategy, but it would be interesting. Well, listen, my friend, we'll wrap up with you here momentarily. Where should people go online to keep up with everything that you're doing? You know, we mentioned kdaver.com. Any social media you want us to know about, or?
Yeah. So kdaver.com links to it all. You can obviously go to my Facebooks or Instagrams, Snapchats or whatever. I'm on TikTok. Don't really open that much. I don't know about you, man. I'm over social media. Like, I know it's important. I know it's necessary, but I'm over the whole toxic environment that is social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will be updated. So if you want to keep up with it, check it out.
Yeah. Very good. All right, my friend. Hey, it is wonderful to talk to you. And, at some point when you're able to do it, I'd love to have you here in studio. I miss doing that. We're now, Jenny and I are both fully vaccinated, and we are having in-studio guests again and so forth. So would love to do that again in the future, but it's always, call us anytime. It's always great to talk to you. And good luck with the computer. I definitely want to hear that new music soon. So, but great to hear from you, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right, you got it, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, the great Kay Daver. You know, it didn't occur to me until we were talking. I think it literally has been. I think I met him in 2006. I feel like it was 2006. I think I've known him for 15 years. That's incredible to me. We've probably done interviews at least 10 times. But really interesting guy. And check out his website, kdaver.com.